So, are you watching yet? No? I'm Cymiah.
And I'm Britnee.
And welcome to The Water Down.
Water down.
So for our first episode, we're going to talk about the time that we found out we were black. Stay tuned. Cymiah, for us to start, describe what we feel is finding out we're black. What does that mean to us?
Okay. So you go through life thinking you're just a person, you're a human, you're chilling, you're straight chilling. And then there comes a moment, and usually, like for me, it was in my childhood, but there's a moment where you kind of realize, oh, I'm not a person, I'm a black person. You know, we kind of put race on it. Or it could be, I'm a white person, I'm an Asian person, I'm a, whatever, but we put race on it, and it creates this divide between us. So yeah.
And that comes with like socialization.
Socialization?
Yeah.
Come learn a new word for me. Psychology minor.
Coming around people, being in different institutions, and that kind of gives us this coming to Jesus moment. So okay.
Yes.
That was our definition. Now into the stories.
Okay.
Cymiah, when did you find out you were black?
It's 2008. Dark night. No, I came home from school. I don't know if it was hot or something. I'm the darkest in my family, like normally on a day-to-day basis. But this day, I just happened to be Christian. And so I had came back inside, maybe from school or something like that. But I remember going into my mirror, and you got that tan on because us black people, we do tan too. And I just remember looking at myself and being like, whoa. I'm black. And like I didn't think it was a bad thing. I didn't think it was just the moment I had like a self-awareness, self-realization that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a black person. And then I started looking at things differently in school. I started like looking at people and being like, I'm black. They're white. They're this. They're that. Yeah. and then from that moment on, I just separated myself from only being a person to being a black person, and that's where things just kind of like continue.
I think for me, I guess we were both young when we had like these experiences. I went to an elementary school that had a lot of white people. It was a predominantly white institution, and I didn't really think anything of it because I was like 7, so I wasn't imagining like, oh my gosh, they're white, they're black. Like that wasn't my mentality. But then I moved cities, and then I moved to a middle school where I didn't know anybody, and it was a predominantly black institution. And I wasn't bullied, I'm not gonna say that, but a lot of the black kids didn't like me, and I'm like, I don't know why, we the same thing and stuff. So what would be pointed out to me is like, I talk different, I listen to different music, I dress different, stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of like ostracized from the rest of them. So a lot of my friends were white, and it wasn't because of like that's what I chose. It was just the fact that the black kids didn't like me.
Yeah, that's where you felt the most accepted.
Kinda. And so I guess kind of actually answered the question. I was called Oreo a lot, and it would be like, oh, you're white and stuff
Classic.
like that. They're so original, so creative.
Right.
I love it.
I got zebra.
Aww.
What
I meant, A new one that I heard my mentor said, she got called Spot because she's like the black person out of like all the white people, and I thought that was interesting. So like zebra, Oreo, Spot, like they all mean the same thing.
Oh my
God. Y'all different.
Y'all ruthless.
Y'all ruthless out here. Anyway, so getting called all those little like mean names or whatever, I had to sit back and realize like I'm not white. I'm just black with a different upbringing, because I didn't think anything was wrong with the way I talked, acted, dressed, or anything like that. That's just how my parents are, how I was raised, so that's kind of what I'm used to and everything like that. And I had like that realization, like it's okay. Like I'm black even with these different characteristics from the other black kids. So
right, and the thing is, there's no one definition of blackness, and a lot of black people like to feed into that, because I got all the same remarks you did. And a lot of people like to feed into this narrative of the stereotypes the pejorative stereotypes placed on black people. And so I know, like, going to high school, I got called all these different names when I tried to hang out with people who looked like me, going through my 11th grade woke session.
Oh yes,
we got 11th grade is when we both
awakening.
Yes, is when we like kind of came into like black power. You know, you start to learn about Trayvon Martin. You start to learn about all like the civil rights movements and things like that, and you get empowered by it, and you're like, and once you understand it, you know, I just know that I wanted to hang out with people who looked like me, and that's where I kind of changed my friend group. But I didn't feel accepted either. It wasn't very inviting, and it was more because we were cool to an extent. Like they were like, you're different from us, let's make jokes about that, or let's kind of like climb on top of you in that way. And it wasn't the best experience for me. So these kids ruthless out here, they're ruthlessness.
Okay, so for me, I think I had like 2 different transition periods in high school. 9th grade was when I had like the whole social movement wokeness, like I'm black power, everything like that. And that's when I started getting into like just
which was my 11th grade.
Yeah,
we were on. There was probably events that were happening around that time that makes sense
because we're 2 years apart.
Yeah, so your 9th grade, my 11th grade, and then your 11th grade, which would be my freshman year of college. That's crazy. And my freshman year of college, when I got into more into like the social movements, and that's like
wow, look at timeline.
Yeah, there we go.
I never made that connection. But yeah, okay, so 9th grade so 9th grade and 11th grade for you. That's when like a lot of different social movements was happening, and that's when I had like that awakening, like okay, I got to do something and everything like that. When it got to my junior year, that's when I finally got like the friend group I wanted. I prayed and hoped for this because like I wanted to have like some people around me that were diverse, to be able to have different experiences and just know that like it's okay to be whatever kind of person you are. And it was so amazing. And I'm kind of mad that COVID kind of ruined that year for me. But we used to do these things called like Melon morning. So like all my melanated friends, we got in the sun at like 8 in the morning. We got to school, take videos because we just look so fine. I love it. Anyways,
that's so cute.
Can we insert a video here?
Yes.
This is happy melanin mornings. Like we were fine. Anyways, so that was kind of the year that I realized that it's okay to be a different type of black person because we are very complex. I had the musical friends, the theater friends, the band friends, I was like the only one of like 3 black film majors. It don't matter, but it just shows like the complexity of us, and I think that was like a nice transition period for me too.
Oh, that's dope. See, my coming into my blackness in a new way, which was more into like, I'll fight for you. Do you understand that reference before I continue?
Don't say anything at all because that doesn't have
does
it have anything to do with a politician, or is that we can do it? No.
Oh no.
Dang it.
Girls from
I want to get it. Okay. Jimmy B. Jones. No, just freaking say
so
it.
Random.
So that's so weird. The little white.
Yes.
I'm Sally Jensen, and I fight for you.
But going into that period of me really enjoying the new age of like the civil rights movement that's happening now was during last summer, of course, when George Floyd's death is where I was like, whoa, it shook my world. But even before that, I go to a all-girls HBCU. I go to Spelman College, #1 HBCU. I think we're at 14 years running, 12, 13, something like that.
The promo.
Yeah. And I love it so much. And that was probably the time where I felt most surrounded by my blackness, of course. And it is the best thing that I could have ever experienced. I'm so grateful for it. But I remember like that switch needed to happen. But once I got to college and started stepping into that, that's when I started. It's like, you know, when your blackness activates.
And you had the power on it.
Yeah. I was like,
you choose that. You said. Wait, what is that? What is that thing from Avengers? Like, now reality could be whatever I want it to be.
The whole like the Thanos, the whole like that.
Something like I don't know.
Now, reality can be whatever I want.
Oh, we always get off topic. Okay. And now I'm super into like social justice. I started studying psychology, and I study psychology of women, predominantly black women, and all of the African diaspora studies and things like that. And that's where I fully stepped into life, being black to black. But yeah, best experience ever going to Spelman. It was really good for me.
So I guess we both had like bad experiences when we were younger, and it took for us to go into like a bigger space and a bigger community to realize like, hey, it ain't so bad.
Right.
We kind of had this like bad transition period or whatever, but we.
Because I was tired of being exiled.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so last thing, what is some advice you have for anyone who's discovering their blackness?
Embrace it. It's gonna be a weird transition. You're gonna start realizing a lot of different things, looking at yourself in the mirror like you black and black. But it's a beautiful experience in the end because you end up realizing like you can be different and that's okay, or that you can come into yourself and that's okay. It's gonna be a weird process, but you got it.
Yes.
What's some advice that you would give?
Don't allow anybody to define your blackness, because you can be black and you can like Harry Styles. Or you can.
This is your experience.
Wait.
From my experience, you could be black and like 21 Pilots and rock music. It's okay.
Stop! I went to the 21 Pilots phase too.
I have a flag. I used to
It
have.
was because of my church friends though.
Aw.
Dude, I was a people pleaser though. I just got on stuff because a lot of people.
That girl is a real
Crowd pleaser. I'm
Okay.
Focus! Don't allow anyone to define your blackness, because your upbringing can be, your experience, your worldview could be so different from so many other people. And like Brittany said, we are complex beings. We're not subordinate. We're not something that you can just kind of like put a tag on. Mm-hmm. So, and also be yourself, because you're going to attract whoever needs to be in your life. You don't have to go out of your way looking for people who look like you, or looking for people who don't look like you, or searching for validation, because just be you and you'll attract exactly what you want to you. So that's something that I learned on my black journey that I would be sharing. But yeah.
So, Mama, we're black.
Thank you so much for joining us on the first episode of The Water Down.
We'll see you here next week on Water Down Wednesday. And don't call yourself crispy, bruh.
That was funny. I thought it was funny.
Crispy.
But I am dark. It's cool.
But you're not crispy, Cymiah. That's the difference. That's the difference. I'm gonna wreck it.
Ah! My back.
My leg.
Oh, I'm getting better at it.
Oh, brother, this guy.
Okay. Do it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. I think I should practice these more. I should be a SpongeBob fish. I really like this shit tonight. It's okay. Aquafina.
God, I don't taste right. That tastes like toilet.
You know they can't see that.
We already know.